Hey, David. Two things. Update on Heedle, if you have one, and how important is it to get results when you play pretty well, but you go for a long period of time without the result?
Yeah, Heedles will be evaluated tomorrow, so we'll know a lot more tomorrow. Just really, I mean, you got to find ways to win. I mean, we can sit here and talk about some of the good things we did, and the chances we had in the third period, and but you got to win hockey games. You got to find a way to win, and you can't. A guy can't get a shot from that area with a minute 30 to go. I mean, you have to have an urgency. You got to know who's dangerous, and just really disappointing because just to come in here and play some good hockey and come away with 1 point is really disappointing.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano with USA Today Network. Vince, go ahead.
You've talked a bunch in the past about the shooting mentality. Do you see that as being an issue in a game like tonight? Do you think the guys maybe weren't pulling the trigger when they had some chances?
Well, I thought in the second for sure. I didn't like our second period at all. I thought we were way too high risk. I thought we were disrespectful to the game. It was just inevitable they were going to score. We were just really, selling out for offense at all costs. And then I really thought in the third we kind of got back to what we needed to do. I thought we played a much smarter period. First period was okay. Obviously, you get up 1-0. You're feeling good about that. But, I just thought we were real sloppy for about 12 minutes in that second period. And you could just sense it. And I knew they were going to get one. You could just sense the way the game was being played, the risk we were taking, selling out for offense. And then, a good sign is we kind of pull it together the last 5 minutes of the second. And then I thought had a good third period.
Next question comes from Molly Walker with the New York Post. Molly, go ahead.
Yeah, David, it just seems as though the young core of players are really keeping the team competitive the last two games here. What are you seeing from the veterans, and how important are they to the success of this team?
Well, listen, they all know our veterans know they got to be better. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. We've talked to them privately. They've admitted it. They know that. The good news is these are guys that are established players in this league and are good players. And the good news is our young players continue to develop, and they're playing good hockey against real good players. And it's early, but it's disappointing that we sit here with the record we have, feeling like we've played pretty well and maybe deserve a little bit better. But at the end of the day, you get what you get, and you get what you deserve, and we've got to find a way to get through this.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson with Newsday. Colin, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, what do you think happened on that 2-2 goal? It looked like it was fluttering. I mean, did Igor not see it? And then what do you think of the 3-2 goal? I mean, how was his performance tonight?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it was the third period's a tough period because they didn't have a lot of chances. The first one of their second goal kind of deflects off Tony and, maybe surprised them. And the third one, it is a screen, but I'm sure he'd like to have it back. I mean, we're talking about an elite goalie here, and he's. I haven't talked to him or looked at him, but I'm pretty sure he's frustrated.
Next question comes from Larry Brooks with the New York Post. Larry, go ahead.
Do you think there's anything with Igor that he and Alex, but he is kind of there without Hank? Is there anything to that, or am I looking for something that's not there?
I guess I don't know what you mean, Larry. Could you just mean like he just having Hank here might be helpful?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no safety net.
Right.
I mean, even though they started 18 of the final 19 last year, he was still there. And now these guys come in. They've got to take it.
Yeah.
Is there anything to that?
Well, it's funny you say that. I remember having a long conversation with Hank down in Carolina last year in February, and we were just talking about he hadn't played a lot, and we were just talking about the situation, and then we started talking about our team and our young goaltending, and it's exactly what we touched on. It's when now you're staring the job in the face, it is a different feeling. So that being said, these two guys, to me, they play with swagger, they play with confidence. It's early. I know we're going to get really good goaltending. But I certainly can see why you think that, and it is different. It is definitely a little bit different.
Okay, we have time for two more. First, Rick Carpinello. Carpy, go ahead.
David, despite the injury, what have you seen from Heedle to this point?
Just a real maturity, a growth. For the first 2 years we were here together, he was kind of, I don't want to say happy to be here, but kind of feeling his way. And the thing I really like is he knows he belongs. I think he's ready to take an important role on this team. He's showing more emotion. There's just a different swagger to him that we hadn't seen. So disappointing that what happened tonight, but we'll see what the end result is tomorrow.
And final question goes to Mark Roseman with Sports Talk New York. Mark, go ahead.
Coach, I know you've preached about players knowing time and place in certain situations, and and not to kill Keandre in any means. He has a strong game. Third period, that was like a no pressure ice, which eventually led to the face off, which eventually they kept in. Would you not? Obviously you don't want to ice the puck, but
No.
is that the wrong decision at that point?
Yeah, listen, one of the things we wanted to do is our D to kind of manipulate their F1 in that situation and take ice, gain the line. He saw an opportunity to maybe quick up it, and it took obviously the ice wasn't great towards the end of the period, and it took a bounce. So certainly not going to fault him for that.